Good evening, folks. It's Stymied with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Sunday, March 8th, 2 p.m. Mountain Time 2020. The models, as they're coming in, each new model shows more and more precipitation in the form of snow as we get into March. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas as we approach April. Sabancaya erupting to 30,000 feet and the bomb cyclone scraping southeast New England with high winds and snow as predicted. Keep calm. It's boom time. Heavy snow expected for the restart of the Iditarod, as we reported on. Heavy snow is predicted from Valdez to Whittier, and it's not looking good. We'll see how that race develops. This was the perfect winter for Spokane. Average snowfall at low elevations and enough snowpack up high. And there's the pollen in the crocuses as they fly. Rare snow phenomenon spotted in Webster. Now, this is not rare here. We constantly have these shadow melting zones. They're called snow stripes or snow melt shadows, but apparently up in Rochester, they're rare. By the way, Rochester, 4.1 inches over the norm for the season. So, above average snowfall in Rochester. Here's your last 48 hours on the snowfall analyzer. Heavy snow in the mountains of the Northwest, including central Idaho, Montana, northern Utah, and the North Sierras picking up some snow. But the big winner is the Cascades and up near the Canadian border, as well as the ski resorts in Virginia. And you can see a little bit of that snow south of Boston from that nor'easter that just missed. Great Lakes water levels break monthly records for February. It does not look good for spring. The lakes are high, and the snow continues to fly to the north in Canada. The heaviest snow north of the Great Lakes is going to drain into that region. So if these models stay true, it's looking like a very floody Great Lakes spring, as well as the Mississippi Valley. All this water is going to have to flow into here and come down here eventually. So we're going to be watching this closely. Let's break down the models just for the next few days. You can see here a heavy system moving through Canada, Quebec and Ontario, the big winners, as well as Newfoundland there, or New Brunswick, and northern Maine. And that's through Wednesday. So Monday, that snow spreads. Tuesday, into Maine, and then Wednesday. And then by Wednesday, the west is going to be picking up some snow, and a huge system develops here in the Four Corners region next weekend, Thursday, Friday, and that's going to move east. And as you can see the snow pattern on these models, it just gets deeper and further south as we get towards April. We're going to be watching this and monitoring it closely. Locally heavy rainfall for the Southern Rockies and Southern Plains. Mid-temperatures, mild temperatures over much of the eastern half of the U.S. Good news, developing low pressure will bring locally heavy rainfall and the possibility of flash flooding to parts of the Southern Rockies and Southern Plains into early Monday. Ahead of the system, temperatures were soar well above normal elsewhere along the Pacific. Strong Pacific storm is forecast to result in heavy rainfall and thunderstorms across Southern California, quenching that drought. Parts of the Southwest by Tuesday will be wet. High wind warnings here in Missouri and flood watches and warnings in southeast Texas and southwest Louisiana, as well as the entire southeast. Pretty saturated. Extreme weather advisory issued for Vancouver as temperatures plummet below zero and the snow levels drop to the city. They're worried about the homeless population. Where's Al Gore when you need him? Dramatic video shows rescue of a skier trapped headfirst in snow in the French Alps, where snow is at dumping, apparently. And let's see if we can actually get you some footage of this. It's only a few seconds, but it is amazing to watch.
An incredibly dramatic rescue in the French Alps. A helmet cam captures the moment a skier came across a woman who was trapped in the snow head first. There you see her. Her legs in the air. Pretty amazing. The man pulls a shovel out of his safety kit, rushes to dig the woman out. With the help of another skier, they were able to pull her out of the snow.
Awesome.
The woman had fallen while skiing on a remote backcountry run.
Laughing.
Amazingly, she suffered no serious injuries.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
Just
Pretty
amazing.
Awesome. 5.5 magnitude earthquake rocks Mexicali yesterday. I'm sure a lot of you in the LA region, even San Diego, felt it. And so that was the quake of note yesterday while we were at the San Luis Valley Seed Exchange. Earthquake of magnitude 5.2 strikes Madeira Islands in Portugal this morning. No injuries. And it is north of the Canaries. So I saw that quake there and I was like, oh my. So we're going to be watching that threat closely. There's the Portugal quake, far north of the Canary Islands. But this is a pretty unique rumbler here and a rarity, as well as the Mexicali quake, maybe once a year or less. And there has been some seismic activity worldwide, quite substantial. We also have a sunspot, 2758, appearing out of nowhere, as sunspots will do. Beta CRO, 5% C flare, 1% M, 1% X. We do have some magnetic mixing. Positive, negative, positive, negative. And that is how flaring begins, when you mix the polarities. So we're going to watch this sunspot as it grows and it turns Earth-facing over the next several days. Phi angle has fallen into that danger zone, so we're going to be closely monitoring it. If it stays in the 180, seismic alert. Sabancaya blasting to 30,000 feet 48 hours ago and following it up with a 26,000-foot puff today. Not in the news. Worldwide volcano news update. We got it. Dukono blasting to 30,000 feet with continuous volcanic ash 48 hours ago. Kluchaskov blowing to 23,000 feet. Popo over 20,000. And Sabancaya with its follow-up puff to 26,000 feet just moments ago. Volcanoes are becoming quite active. OPEC deal collapse sparks price war. People are reporting gas below $2 as it plummets. And the price of oil might reach $20, which could mean gas could be $1.10 in Indiana. That's good news coming out of this whole nightmare. The strange case of Antarctic snow turning red has been in the news for 2 weeks. This phenomenon, dubbed watermelon snow, raspberry snow, or blood snow, has been glommed on by the global warmists as proof that we're all burning up. And it was just discovered, so it's all our fault. The only problem is they're not scientists. They show the stratigraphy of the snow here where the watermelon snow is, which shows that it's been here for a while. This is melted. It's anyone's guess when this snow fell and was deposited, but probably last year or the year before. And as the deeper you go, the older the snow is. And not only that, and they're talking about how hot it is in the Antarctic. So the place we're talking about here is Galindez Island. So if you go look at where Galindez Island is, it's right here. It's closer to Argentina. It's closer to Brazil than the South Pole, this island. Closer to Brazil than the South Pole. It's closer to Colombia than the South Pole, which is on the equator. Do you think this study is genuine? Record high temperatures in the Antarctic, and meanwhile, the stock photo up here is an ice-free island. I think someone is trying to pull the wool over your eyes. And at the same time, Wikipedia is deleting a list of scientists who disagree with the scientific consensus, which is not science, it's censorship. We don't like your point of view, scientists, so we're going to delete you. This is the utopian world, dystopian world that you live in, controlled by the elites and the oligarchs who put in position the puppets in the political arenas. So that's all that's going on here. They control the narrative, they crush the opposition, and they do whatever they want. And here's another example of that. This is coming out from CBS. Viral tweet spreads misinformation about volcanoes and climate change. And this is nothing but a hit piece to scientists like myself. It lumps us in with flat earthers when you read this article. Which, by the way, it says from flat earth to climate change denial. They're the same, according to this article. Flat earth and climate change denial. How about alternative science with natural climate variability that has nothing to do with man And we're going to get to that, how ridiculous this whole argument is. So what they're arguing in this article is that someone posted, which is typically false, that a single volcanic eruption is more than all the CO2 that humans ever produced, which is usually wrong. But that's okay, in my opinion, because they're getting to the main fact, the fact that how does human CO2 compare with natural CO2? I'm sure you're all wondering that. Well, I have a simple graphic, which is accepted by all scientists. So this is pretty much a real consensus. And it's the global carbon cycle. Now, if you can see here by this graph, the Earth itself naturally outgasses 770 gigatons of CO2 every year. 770 gigatons come out of the Earth naturally, the ocean and the land. Humans, 29 gigatons. Let me repeat that. The Earth naturally outgasses 770 gigatons of CO2 every year compared to the 29 that people do. Why are we not taxing the planet? I do not know why. And therein is the whole lie. The land and the oceans then take up all that carbon dioxide back in through the carbon cycle annually. And the net deficit is just a few gigatons, which we need on Earth to increase the CO2 to optimum levels around 1,000. 440 is not a worry. In fact, it's a hindrance to plant growth. But as the CO2 rises, our forests are greening. And you can see here that man has very little to do with the carbon cycle. Very little. Less than 0.5%, in fact, if you do the math. Those are the facts. March's full worm supermoon to rise this weekend. It's a supermoon because it's the one on the left. We're close. Apogee versus perigee. And a supermoon is when the moon is closest and looks the biggest. And the first full moon of meteorological spring is called the worm supermoon or the worm moon. I was telling Alan it was the frost moon, but that's the last one we just had. My bad, Alan. So tonight we're going to see rising the full super worm moon, which will be a super full worm moon. Boom. Amazing how that works. Now, the mysterious lights flying over western Colorado that I talked about maybe 6 months ago, Leah and I spotted it. We determined it was probably a satellite stream, Starlink, and it was. And now many reports coming out about these strings of about 18 dots evenly spaced moving through the night sky. We're in one of the darkest night sky regions in the United States, and they're so bright, they look like UFOs. And it's all because of Elon Musk. He loves us so much that he wants to, he's working on a way to make the Starlink satellites less visible. He's going to turn off the sun or something. Well, he says he's going to use mirrors. And yeah, right. Yep, sure he is. Hope you got something out of the video. If you have $1 billion, you can do whatever you want. Epstein's not dead. We love each and every one of you. Thanks to our one-time donors. The San Luis Valley Seed Exchange experience will be posted later today. I hope you join us. Wash your hands. Stock up. Stay out of crowds. Be safe. We love you.